Tongoro Market, the soul of the town, throbbed with life. Between laughter and haggling stood two women, Mama Ada and Iyawo, both sellers of local foodstuffs. Bitter leaves, smoked fish, ogiri, and palm nuts lined their stalls like soldiers. But behind the warm spices and trading noise, a silent war brewed. Mama Ada was loud, commanding, and feared. Iyawo was gentle, observant, and loved. They sold the same goods in stalls side by side, but only one could be the queen of the customers. Iyawo never tried to compete, but customers noticed her neat stalls, her warm smile, her clean wares. Mama Ada noticed too, and it burned. The real pain began when Madame Stella, a regular customer, began drifting between the two. If Mama Ada didn't have something, Stella would casually buy from Iyawo, and each time she did, Mama Ada's smile became tighter, her eyes colder. At home, Mama Ada would sit before her cracked mirror and mutter, "She won't shine past me. Me, Mama Ada of Tongoro." Mama Ada's bitterness fermented like spoiled iru. She visited a herbalist deep in Ayetoro forest, a place only the daring dared visit. There, under the shadow of red clothes and the smell of burning feathers, she paid for market confusion, a charm that would cause customers to forget Iyawo's stalls. She buried it near Iyawo's table at night. By morning, flies swarmed Iyawo's vegetables. Her crayfish turned sour. Her bitter leaves blackened. Customers complained. Sales dropped. But Iyawo didn't curse. She cleaned. She prayed. She smiled through tears. That confused Mama Ada even more. Despite the setback, Iyawo endured. She sang softly as she arranged her wares. Her only daughter, Shade, came after school to help her measure egusi and fetch water. Even customers began to return. "Mama Iyawo, I don't know what happened though, but your crayfish sweet again." Each compliment pricked Mama Ada's chest. One night, she spat on the ground and swore she must go. Then came the unexpected. Iyawo's husband, Adigun, collapsed suddenly. He wasn't sick for long. Within days, he died. The community wept. He was kind, quiet, and supportive of Iyawo's hustle. Iyawo shut her stall and left for village for the 2 months mourning period. Mama Ada smiled. She go broke now. She no go return. But life doesn't always follow the wicked's plan. 2 months later, Iyawo returned, grieving, thinner but stronger. When she reopened her stall, something strange happened. Customers flocked to her. They hugged her, gave her gifts, bought everything. Sympathy turned into support. Compassion turned into loyalty. Mama Ada stood across her stall, boiling. Even death no fit silence her. Which kind woman be this? The market buzzed with love for Iyawo. Meanwhile, Mama Ada's customers dwindled. Some even avoided her. She could not take it anymore. She went back to Ayetoro forest, this time in a black wrapper, trembling with rage. "I want her finished," she said. "Not her stall, her body, her life." The herbalist, older and more menacing than before, handed her a calabash of black tar. "Pour it where her foot go touch. But know this, to destroy another soul, your own must open too." Mama Ada didn't flinch. That night, long after the market had closed and darkness swallowed the street, Mama Ada crept to Iyawo's stall. She poured the black liquid from the calabash at the edge of the table, right where Iyawo stood every morning. But fate had other plans. That morning, Mama Ada's second daughter, Amaka, was sent home from school because of unpaid school fees. Confused and upset, she went to the market, hoping to find her mother and explain. But Mama Ada was not at her store. She had gone to collect ugu leaves delivered at the park. Amaka waited and unknowingly sat in front of Iyawo's stall. Her foot touched the same soil soaked in the dark charm meant for Iyawo. She screamed. 7 days later, Amaka died in her sleep, her body swollen and cold. Mama Ada was shattered, but instead of admitting her sin, she told the market women that it was Iyawo who had poisoned her daughter. Whispers began, suspicion spread, but most people didn't believe it. Mama Ada stayed home, mourning Amaka for weeks. Then, one morning, she dressed in black and returned to Ayetoro forest. I'm ready to do it again. This time, no mistake. The herbalist nodded grimly and gave her another black calabash. This time, it worked. Again, that night, after everyone had gone home and darkness swallowed the street, Mama Ada tiptoed to Iyawo's stall again. She poured another black liquid at the edge of Iyawo's table, making sure it touched the ground at the exact spot where Iyawo stood every morning to sell. Then she vanished like a ghost. The next morning, Iyawo arrived late. Her toe touched the darkened soil. She winced. By noon, her foot had swollen. By evening, her leg turned hot, red and bloated. She closed earlier than normal and managed to get home with her swollen leg. Iyawo was bedridden, her goods spoiled. Her daughter cried. No money, no doctor, no relief, and still no one knew what truly happened. 3 stalls away, Mama Ima, another market woman, noticed Iyawo's absence. On the 4th day, she visited her. When she saw Iyawo's leg, she nearly dropped her basket. It looked as if it had been boiled. Iyawo whispered, I don't know what I stepped on. I can't even afford Panadol. Mama Ima tied her scarf. We are going to my village, Ogundele. There is a healer there who doesn't collect money, only truth. They hired a local taxi that agreed to take them at a discount after Mama Ima begged. Shade sat in the back with her mother's head resting on her lap. The journey was long, but hope kept them going. Ogundele was quiet, wrapped in mist and ancient trees. The healer, Baba Yara, was a blind man who saw more than eyes ever could. He touched Iyawo's leg and sighed. This is not illness. This is bitterness made flesh. For 7 days, he bathed her leg in roots and herbs and fire smoke. On the 8th day, the swelling disappeared. Iyawo stood for the first time in 2 weeks. After the healing, Baba Yara called Iyawo aside and told her the truth. It was Mama Ada who has been behind your pain. Iyawo wept, shaking from the shock, but Baba Yara held her hand. You must not fight. Do not seek revenge. Let light fight darkness in its own way. Mama Ima was not supposed to hear this conversation. She was sitting outside, plucking leaves, but she overheard and froze. She remembered how she once had an encounter with Mama Ada before Iyawo ever came to Tongoro. They fought bitterly over market space. Mama Ada later placed a dark substance on Mama Ima's seat, and she began to smell so badly that customers avoided her. It was Baba Yara who healed her too. That's why she moved her kiosk far from Mama Ada's to avoid ever crossing her path again. When Iyawo walked back into Tongoro Market, it was as if a new sun had risen. Women screamed in joy. Customers danced. People who never shopped with her before now lined up. Mama Ada's stall empty. She stood still, staring at Iyawo as if she were a ghost. That night, Mama Ada began to see shadows at her window. She heard drums that weren't beaten. She saw fireflies spell her name in smoke. Her hands shook. Her lips cracked. By morning, she was muttering to herself. Market day came. As people were shouting prices and bargaining, Mama Ada climbed her table and screamed, "I did it! I poured the sham! I caused her leg! I wanted her to die!" She laughed wildly, tore her clothes, screamed Iyawo's name. Then she began to bark like a dog. The elders came. Mama Ima covered Iyawo's face as they carried Mama Ada away. She was taken to Olokun River Asylum. She never returned. Iyawo rebuilt her life. Shade thrived in school. Mama Ima became her older sister. The women of Tongoron learned one truth. Envy poisons the vessel before it spills on the victim. And every time a new trader joined the market, they were told, "Be like Iyawo, but never walk the path of Mama Ada." Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more beautiful stories.